Let God arise, may his enemies be scattered, may those who hate him flee before him. As smoke is driven away, so drive them away. As wax melts before fire, may the wicked perish before God. This is a reading from the Mebes Tarot Minors. Coins. The coin suit is a suit of human personality, and its basic objective is the internal organization, purification, and multilateral development of that personality, taking in time the expansion of consciousness, growth of the realizing power, and the formation of individuality. The purposes of a coin student are personal achievements, both internal and external, including the material plane. At this stage, the human will still remains personal, although it is already starting to become evolutionary. The work of a student, as in all other suits, goes through 10 stages, which correspond to the fields of influence of the 10 Sephiroth. These steps, however, are not fixed or equal for all. If a lesson of a stage has not been sufficiently learned, the disciple will have to return to it, perhaps even several times, going through it a little differently each time, and generally within a higher level. At the same time, the other Sephiroth will continue to exercise their influence and exert additional impact on the student's life and work. In this course, we will present the outline of a basic path, straight and ideal, in which the lessons of each stage are learned entirely, without the need to return to them. We will present these to you, as already said, at their higher spiritual level and in the greatest amplitude. In real life, this model way almost doesn't exist. The level is rarely so high, the experience is more broad, and the path is not always straight. Failures and deviations from the straight path are numerous. The development of the psychophysical constitution of the being and the appearance of occult powers, until then latent, are, in general, consequences of a conscious work in that direction, and certain exercises that, for the most part, have a purely hidden character, and that the disciple of coins began to practice. Because of this, the suit of coins is sometimes called hidden suits. It is important to underline that these exercises always aim for the development of forces belonging to several subplanes of the astral world. As for the spiritual principle, this cannot be developed by exercises, but the same, along with a self-imposed discipline, that is, imposed by evolving will, result in a general subtlety that can facilitate the handling of the spirit. In the highest plane, there will be no exercise. The process will be fully internal. In the path of ethical hermeticism, the essential factor is the sincere search for spiritual light and not some advantages achieved by exercises. The coins path can also be covered by different routes. For example, following one of the established religions, its disciplinary methods and rituals. The person then attaches himself to the particular egregore of that religion, which will play an important role in his or her life. On the path of the occult, the choice of the egregore, in the case that it actually exists, the spiritual master under the working method belong to the student. Orthodox ways are generally limited to moral discipline. Occultism, moreover, aims at the development of latent psychic powers. However, the main difference between the two paths is that the Orthodox is based on faith and occultism on knowledge. In the first, the development of feeling is sought, in the second, of reason. Therefore, when, in the first, a person is ready to pass to the stage of swords, in the majority of cases, it will move towards the positive aspect of this suit. In the second, towards its negative or philosophical aspect. At the coin stage, during the first 7 degrees, the personality becomes tight and gradually subtle. The realization of the 8th grade allows the disciple to attain identification of their individuality. The 9th grade represents the esoteric beginning of this suit, that is, the creative synthesis of everything that was reached on the way to coins. The 10th grade corresponds to the manifestation of this synthesis in the world of non-I. The first 7 arcana, or degrees, are under the influence of the 7 secondary causes, the last 3 under the 3 primordial causes. The coin stage covers everything that belongs to the occult, and that, sufficiently accomplished, transforms a common man into a perfect white wizard. This transformation of personality finds its analogy in alchemical transmutation, and each alchemical stage is correlated to one numerical chart of coins. Alchemy, as a hidden science, corresponds on the physical plane to the initiation process of the soul. The basic degrees of transmutation follow suit. The essential difference is that, in the case of alchemy, the impulse from above, which transmutes the material elements in the philosophical stone, comes from the initiated alchemist himself.